Starting recording. I
All
be
right.
beat, I be ballin'. I be ballin'. It's your girl Ashley, I be ballin'. We're gonna talk about the upcoming WNBA season, and it starts tomorrow, Friday. I got a special guest with me, Ryan RC Cooper. Thanks for
Hello.
joining me. So, talk a little bit about yourself.
Like I said before, basketball is pretty much my thing. Anything that involves basketball, I'm there for it 110%. I go all in. Been played it in high school, been watching it pretty much all my life. Favorite players: Jordan, Kobe, Aja Wilson, Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
Hey, I got Asia Wilson right here. It's kind of small. I got it from Slam.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Slam subscriber. Yeah. And they do got WNBA Slam that comes out sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot of drama, a lot of off-season stuff. So let's dive right in. So let's talk about the cuts and the waves. There's been a huge talk about it. Alexis Morris been trending on Twitter since, you know, she's talked about the 30 plus, year olds. How do you feel about the cuts and the waves? Like a lot of popular college players are getting waived.
With all of the cuts and the waves, it's really heartbreaking. It's heart aching. But I think that on the bright side, these players have to really buckle down, get down to it, get in the gym, work hard. Eventually, I feel like they'll get the call. They'll get other opportunities, but they really can't say, "Woe is me" right now. They just have to work harder because it's only 144 roster spots, and it's probably the toughest league to make. Some of these cuts, like like Bria Beal, it really just it rattles your cage a little bit. But you got Taylor Sewell, and she came prepared. She she came prepared to get her a spot, and I think you just have to from day one just come out there and play. Did you hear about Ashley Jones? What she did in practice? She
What
was the
she
first.
do?
She was the first one to practice and the last person to leave. And,
That's
and
what you gotta do.
yeah, she nailed her spot like that. And I think that's exactly what you have to show that level of commitment. You have to, you know. That's what's your take on it?
My take is obviously it's like one cut, another cut. Charlie Collier, I think she was the number one pick, and
Well,
even she, you
not
know,
to, not to cut you off, Ashley, but I felt like I was watching a horror movie. The way they was just cutting and cutting. I just couldn't take it. Like it was a horror film.
slash, 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 slash,
Yeah,
slash.
yeah.
Michael Myers. Yeah, just so many. If a number one pick can get cut, anyone can get cut. You know,
Yeah.
Henny got cut. It was it's definitely disappointing, but like you said, you got to put your head down and you got to go to work. You can't blame anybody. Morris was blaming cut the old heads off, but some of the
Yeah.
old heads still play at a high level. Some of them don't. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you still
tough.
can't tell somebody when to leave. That's pretty much up to the coaches, the general managers. You cannot tell the older players when they should depart. I think their day is coming soon. I don't know how much players like Candace Parker have left. I don't know if Tina Charles even signed to a team yet, but
I
eventually
don't think so.
these players will, fade away in all of their glory. But you know, you got to have motivation from somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah. So next, let's talk about roster expansion, league expansion. I do think the roster spots are like 12. I think they should,
Yeah,
longer it to like 15. And we need more teams. There's 12 teams. We need more teams like in Milwaukee and Toronto. You
yeah,
know,
Toronto, Philadelphia, Milwaukee. It's so many teams. I mean, it's so many states and cities that want a
yeah.
team. It's unbelievable. I think we long overdue,
Yeah.
honestly, for new franchises. But the league is always losing money, so I
Mhm.
don't know what to make of that. They said in 2 years. That's what Kathy Engelbert said.
Yeah.
Um,
2025. Yeah.
yeah, it seems like it's going to be a long time, but I mean, for now, it's just going to be a continued gauntlet. And in order to make these rosters, it's going to be like, like the medieval times. You got to take somebody out, in order to get a spot.
It's the
Um,
Hunger Games up in here.
and that's competition for you. I really think I don't. To me, it doesn't matter who or where the expansion team come from. To me, it's just about getting them. You just have to. You just have to have them. You really do. Um, and it's still going to be tough to make a team. You
Yeah.
know, even if you add two teams, the NBA has 30 teams, and the G League has players that that could really play on the professional level as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
sports.
And I think the NBA got two-way contracts too. Um. Yeah, and they got the G League. The WNBA don't really have a G League to like develop players, so maybe they can start getting that too.
I was glad to see Victoria Saxton and Grace Berger. They were held by Indiana Fever, so
That's
uh,
good. That's good.
that happened. South Carolina players have been taking a lot of heat in this draft as well as LSU.
Oh yeah. They be like, are the schools preparing y'all? But I also feel like it is like from March Madness to the draft, it's like such a short window.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe the rookies
I,
aren't prepared.
I know you said you hadn't been to any games, but I kind of noticed that. I was like, man, I went to, I think it was the Sky and the Fever, and Leah Boston. I mean, I just felt like, man, they don't get a real rest. Like you're right back at it, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she needs to like work on her stamina a little bit, but her potential is very high for a number one pick.
Yeah, she don't have to get double and triple teamed anymore. That's dope.
Right.
And like China, she's one of like the commentators. She was talking a little bit about how the WNBA doesn't have like a combine where they can get physicals and measurements of players, and maybe you can see them playing scrimmage. Maybe that could help.
They don't have. That's some things that they desperately could use. I don't know where this sense of urgency is, but they could definitely use something else. You know, and speaking of cuts, like I'm trying to see if I can remember Maddie Williams, Abby Myers. There was a Kayana Trailer. What do you think of that cut? I think she could have been somebody that this guy could have definitely used at some point during the season.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like we are not at the practices, so we don't really know. And it's like it's not like ESPN is showing us NBA preseason games. So
Right.
it's like, and it's like, what does the front office think? The coaches think? The players think? It's like you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I,
So,
I know.
do you have a favorite player, a favorite team? Let's talk about some of your favorite players and teams, and maybe your favorite rookies.
If we're gonna go, we sticking to WNBA here. So let's. I got of course my favorite player is Aja Wilson. Rookies that I'm looking forward to. Um, I'm a big Maddie Segrist fan. I call her Maddie Buckets because she get buckets. We'll just have to see if she's gonna, what her opportunity is gonna look like as far as getting on the court. If it's gonna be consistent or inconsistent for her playtime. Um, it's a lot of players that's coming in. Ashley Jones is really proven to impress me. Um, who else? Kelsey Plum. Of course, this is showing my Aces bias, but take it or leave it. I'm really looking to see what Sabrina Ionescu is going to do for the Liberty this season. See if Kalia Klopper can lead for the Sky.
Oh yeah.
Her leadership, and we're going to see if she can do that. I'm just pretty much all over the place, and I also mentioned. Yeah, hope she gets opportunity for some, consistent playing time because nobody knows for sure if these rookies are going to get a lot of playing time.
Yeah. We don't.
And also, Zaya Cook. I almost forgot. Let's see what she the Sparks.
Let's see if she can cook.
So, like, who's your favorite player rookies that you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to watching Aaliyah Boston, like you said. She can play 1v1 now instead of getting all four players on her. I'm looking forward to Diamond Miller. I think she was the second pick.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing.
I think they must. I think they must have been doing something right, Ashley. I think they must have been doing something right because they never came up in a conversation as possibly getting cut. I have been watching the other channels, and for the longest, probably for a week or two now, people have been saying Bria Bill was floating on the slope there, like she might not make the cut. Kayana Trailer. So a few sources have said that these players may not make it. Turned out to be right. Oh, Destiny Henderson. There was a guy who brought up Destiny Henderson saying that she was not looking well during the preseason, and it's not enough preseason games either. But
that's true.
I saw Destiny Henderson play. She didn't look very confident out there. I thought they would keep her just because of the South Carolina ties, but
yeah.
Apparently they said, "Hey, we got Vicky Saxton, and that's enough."
Oh man,
that's enough for you, Aaliyah. That's all you need is Vicky Saxton.
Oh man, I bet she is a little upset about that.
Yeah.
And I also some of my favorite players are Elena Deladon, Chelsea Gray. My favorite player is Candace Parker. So I've always been like, you like her too?
Yeah, I can't even say the name. Deladon. I heard she was healthy.
Yeah, hopefully she's healthy. Hopefully her back is good this year. I've always
put the other girl's name on the Mystics, but she's a good player too. I'm drawing a total blank. But
is she a second-year player with the gold hair?
I think so. Shakira Austin.
Yeah, that's her name, Shakira. She was playing good for a rookie last year, so I bet she stayed in the game and improved.
Who you think is going to win the Rookie of the Year out of the 4 rookies that we have? We got 4 rookies, but that's how it feels anyway.
I'm going to give it to Boston. She probably going to get double-doubles, rebound, stay in the paint. I think she's going to get it.
I don't think I can disagree with that. Any name that I could possibly throw at you is Diamond Miller. I don't think that Segrist is going to get instant time out of the gate, but she might because D Shields is injured. Diamond just is injured, so she might get some run.
Okay. So what was the best off-season move? There was a lot of off-season moves. What's your, favorite? What's the best?
You know where I'm going.
Aces.
The Aces. Candace Parker, what is she, 38 going on 55? But I'm just messing with Candace. She's a legend.
Maybe 35.
She's not going to have to do too much. She's really just going to have to probably hit the boards, make the right passes, feel the right passing lanes, play defense. Obviously, I mentioned earlier in a discussion with someone that I feel like De'Erica Hamby has she has more energy because she could be more sustainable in terms of energy because he's younger. So I think the Sparks might have won the trade, but the Aces, they don't really. I mean, that wasn't a trade, but it almost was. It almost felt like a trade, seeing CP3 replace Hamby. But I don't think that the Sparks did too bad getting Hamby. And the Aces didn't do too bad getting Candace.
Yeah, I was shocked. I knew she took a meeting with the Aces, but I was like, nah, she probably gonna stay with the Sky or go back to the Sparks. But Chelsea Gray's on there, so they have that connection. And so I agree with you. Aces with CP3, it's like they're the defending champs, and now they just got a big signing. CP3, she's an MVP, she's a defensive player of the year. I mean, I think they're the favorites, and it's like it's theirs. It's theirs. All they gotta do is show up and compete.
Yeah, I think the only people stand. I actually think there's two people. There's one team and there's one person that bothers me. That one thing that bothers me, of course, is the Liberty, but BG is coming back. Really run
Yeah.
me because earlier today I was watching. I think it was the 2021 like semifinals, and the Aces were playing. They were playing Phoenix, the Mercury, and Brittany Griner really affected that game and helped them win. So that could be problematic, going forward. It really could. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that she's a little rusty, and it's a year for.
I might have to,
Yeah.
She probably don't have to keep climbing, and her endurance will get better as the season goes on.
Yeah.
So let's talk about each team. We talked a little bit about the Aces. This is your domain. The Aces are your domain. That's your team. So what's your outlook, especially the news about Becky Hammon being suspended for 2 games? What do you think about that drama?
I feel like Becky is. She doesn't need to say anything. She had said that she tried to defend herself. I think she just needs to leave it alone and just accept what is. Take the suspension, and just move on from it. You're not going to convince anybody that you're right in this situation.
No.
I think that's they really investigated this thing, and ultimately you just kind of got to cut your ties, just learn from it. I mean, if it was really bad, perhaps she probably would have left for the NBA. I just don't. But
yeah,
coaching wise, I think they'll be fine without Becky Hammon. There's so much talent. I don't think she's gonna bother for 2 games. I think they'll be pretty good without her. I mean, if it's one team that doesn't need a coach at the moment, it's the Aces.
Yeah.
I mean,
they got Jackie Young, Plum Dog.
Plum's your coach on the floor. I mean, I really think getting that title last year for A'ja Wilson really just will propel her to newer heights. And I think she still wants it. So, she's young. And I think a whole lot of players coming up could learn from just watching A'ja Wilson play. That's why I said that, Aaliyah Boston is great, but she's not A'ja Wilson. Not close.
Yeah, and she can play the whole game, and she don't look tired.
Yeah. And that's why I said Boston has to get her stamina up. She really. A lot of people say that she needs to get in the weight room as well, and just tone up.
Yeah.
But it's very, very early on for her.
Yeah.
Other teams out there, I'm intrigued to see about the Seattle Storm. To see what they'll do with Jewel Lloyd. They got Jordan Horston out of Tennessee.
Yeah, man.
If they can move on from Breonna Stewart and be successful, or if they're going to be back in the draft lottery.
You know what I think? This is Lloyd's first time that she gonna have her own team, and I feel like as an organization they've just always been good with Lauren Jackson, with Sue Bird, with Breonna Stewart. I think somehow, some way, they're going to be a good team again. Whether it's this year or maybe they suck this year and they get the #1 pick. Caitlin Clark. You know, I
Um,
think.
I don't know where I want Caitlin Clark to go, but I just hope it's not the dream. I don't want to see her in Atlanta. I heard she's gonna stay for all 5 years because they got that extra year
Oh,
now.
all
So,
5 years.
but you best believe when she does decide to come out, there's gonna be some tanking being done.
Oh
But
yeah,
I mean, so
I
what do
would
you
take
what
for
do you
her
think
too.
about? I'm gonna throw a team at you. And what do you think about like the Connecticut Sun? You think they should have kept Alexis Morris? I don't know where they're gonna be, middle of the pack or not. Taking
Mm,
taking into account they still have at least Alyssa Thompson and I mean Alyssa Thomas and Bree Jones.
do they still have Dewana Bonner?
Oh yeah, I forgot her. Yeah, they still have
Yeah,
her too.
Dewana Bonner is a great player. I like Alyssa Thompson. She's like nonstop energy. Um,
A Swiss Army knife. She does everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
I probably do think they need a guard, so maybe they shouldn't have cut Morris because I do feel like that's kind of what they were missing last year too. A guard. They still have what's her name? She's kind of like short hair, blonde.
Courtney Williams.
Yeah, they lost Courtney Williams,
She
but they
went to.
also have Hedemine. I think that's her name.
Oh, you talking Natasha Heidemann? See,
Yeah,
sometimes it's me.
Heidemann. Heidemann. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
They still do. I think she's still on that roster. I believe so. I'm not 110% sure. I just
I
think
think
they'll be
they
middle of the
probably,
pack team.
yeah, middle of the pack because they did lose their coach, so they got a new coach, and um, they traded for Tiffany Hayes. So I do like Tiffany Hayes. She can make plays, Hayes plays, but I think they're probably a middle of the pack team because they did lose Jonquel Jones, who's the MVP, who's an MVP type player.
I wonder if, not to cut you off, I wonder if Raquana Williams went back to the Aces. I can't remember, but I
She
know she
is on the Aces. Yeah.
really helped us win their title. I can tell you that much. I can
Yeah,
say
she is on the Aces, and they got Alicia Clark, right?
Elisa Clark. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's two. No, that I'm thinking of Kayla George. I know we added some players to make our bench a little bit more solidified, and I think Kayla George, Alyssa Clark. I think those are two of the names. It's just I asked myself, are there any teams with like 12 people? Of course, every roster has 12, but I asked myself, are there any rosters where somebody that got cut should have made it? And I did think of like Sydney Colson from the Aces. Like she's just there. Like they use her as energy and she keeps the team spirits high, but she's taking up somebody's roster spot. And
Um.
I just don't like that. And then you have players that only average like 2 or 3 points. Like their roster spot, what are they doing with it? Like if you've been in the WNBA for like 11 seasons and you only average your career average is 2 points a game, didn't you like give your spot to like Rhea Bill? Like, I mean, because we're gonna need the youth at some point to carry the lead.
Yeah, you're gonna need a new wave of youth. Because the veterans that has actually been, marketed as the stars, they're gonna retire. Sue Bird just retired. DT,
Uh,
Rossi, she's gonna retire. Candace Parker gonna retire. So you're gonna need new faces.
they're talking about she's gonna play like another 5 years, like she's LeBron. I don't. Nobody's doing things on his level. I'm sorry, nobody's playing as long as LeBron. No.
Yeah, he got a different type of body type.
Yeah.
That's it. And he spends millions of dollars on his body. But you know who probably hung it up probably at the right time? Fouls. Because when she did that dunk at All-Star game, I was like, why is she retiring? She has more left. But she probably was like, it's time for me to go. And I think some players, they want to hold on to it, and some players are just letting go, you know. I guess it depends on the player.
What do you think about the Lynx? Since you bring up fouls, and they got Nafisa Collier, and Diamond Miller's here, and I think they're going to keep that center they got out of UConn. I admit that I used to really like the Lynx when they were winning championships. Not so much today. These days.
With Maya Moore, Augustus. Yeah, they had a great team. Fouls, they had great. Oh, Lindsay Whalen, that was fun team. And them and the Sparks went back and forth. But as far as the Lynx go, they gotta figure out how to rebuild after Fouls is leaving. Even when Fouls was like playing, they still weren't good. They have that shooter. She used to be on the Aces, but they have that shooter that shoots threes a lot. What's her name? I forgot.
I can help you with this one because I'm just drawing the total blank.
But
that's unfortunate.
They do have sort of a chance because they have Nafisa Collier.
Yeah.
She's coming back from injury, so I don't know. I think they're gonna need to rebuild and get that star player.
Yeah, I told somebody I'm not that impressed with Diamond Miller yet. We'll just see what happens down the line. I do have this. I want to ask you about the Liberty and the Aces, and I know we're it back to the Aces, but this includes both teams. Do you think that the Liberty and the Aces will get out the gates fast?
I think the Aces will get out of the gates fast because they're more together. They've won a championship together. They're more of a veteran team. And they're just more talented than a lot of teams. But I feel like the Liberty, they might struggle a little bit at first because a lot of their players are new. They got Sloot and Sabrina. They got to work out that backcourt. Who's going to pass? Who's going to handle the ball more? They got to figure out Brianna Stewart with Jonquel Jones. That's like twin towers right there, 2 MVPs. So they got to figure all that out. But eventually, one's going to be atop of the East, one's going to be atop of the West eventually. They have the talent.
But check this out. When it comes to the Aces and you need a shot, you're going to go with Chelsea Gray. Got to give it
to yeah.
But when it's the Liberty, who do you give it to? Beef stew?
You have a lot of options. Usually it was Sabrina because who else did you do? Now you got so many options. Even Sloot is collecting the fourth.
I would hate to be the person inbounding that ball with 4 seconds left, trying to pass too.
They got to come up with some plays.
Yeah, most definitely.
But at the same time, if you're the defending team, you don't know who they're going to go to. So it might work out in their advantage. Like, if there's so many options and there's so many trick plays that can happen, you might get fooled. You might think it could be the inbounder, for all we know.
You never know. I heard Toronto, the game that was played in Toronto did great. So maybe Toronto gets a franchise.
Yeah, it was sold out. The merchandise was sold out. It was a sold out stadium. It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even see highlights of that game at all, but I think I'll just take your word for that one.
I saw pictures. And people even had signs saying the North wants a team, and someone tweeted "She North" because you know how the Raptors be like, "We the North," and they was like "She North."
I always tell people that those of us that enjoy the women's game, you have to support. You got to wear the merch if you got the merch. Here's a funny story. I almost brought Bill Bill's jersey, but something was telling me stop, wait. And I'm glad I did, 'cause I mean, even if she does make it, who guarantees she's gonna make it with the links? And here I am sitting here with a jersey that's null and void. Like,
Man, that's the tricky part. It's like on social media, see those pictures and where they was drafted, and then they're cut like a few weeks later. It's sort of embarrassing too as a player, I would think.
it is embarrassing to get cut, but I kept thinking, I was like, man, you how hard do you want it? How much is your work? I mean, how can I put this? How great is your work ethic? Is it
Right,
legendary? Is it legendary, or is it just decent? Because Michael Jordan got cut and the rest is history. I mean,
right.
get cut, use it to fuel you. You have
Yeah.
to.
Do
Otherwise,
you,
you're wasting your time.
yeah, like do you really love the game? Do you love to work? Like Kobe was obsessed with work in the gym. How obsessed are you? You know? And there's lots of stories of like Wheeler. Wheeler was the was All-Star MVP one year, and she got cut. And you look at
So
there was a 32-year-old rookie last year with the Sky, and she was overseas too and came back.
talking about Emma Meeson.
Not in the Mississippi. It she's like a defender on the Sky. I think her name is like Gardner. Let me look it up.
If you talk Rebecca Gardner, maybe.
Yes, Rebecca Gardner. Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They were wrong last season. They during the playoffs they had Candace playing by herself. That can't happen. And that's why I think Candace departed. So
yeah, I was like, wow. I thought for sure they were gonna make it to the finals, and they got beat by the Sun. I'm like, you're the defending champs. You're so talented. You had Quigley, sharpshooter, Copper. You had Emma Missison. Even she didn't come back.
that meltdown they had was just pretty epic for all the wrong reasons. Like I think that was like I don't remember which game it was, but there was a point that series just turned the corner completely. And yeah, I don't know where the Sky really truly go from here. I think there'll be another middle of the pack franchise for this calendar year for this season. That's kind of how I feel. The coach, I'm not too high on James Wade as the coach. I've heard many things about Wade, so I don't know. Again, you got to think how many picks he traded to get Marina Mabrey. Didn't he trade like 3 second-round picks to get her?
A lot of picks.
Yeah.
I do like the move though. That the fact they traded for her, because I started watching her last year with the Wings. I said, oh, she's pretty good. She's playing pretty good without
But
their
you see how quick
leaders.
she got Candace Parker #3 jersey already. She's already got #3 taken. I thought that was for Candace Parker, but we'll see how she plays. I do think, like you say, that she can step in and get buckets, if nothing else. She should be able to fill them up.
They also got Courtney Williams. She's kind of like a spark type of player that I feel like.
I was looking forward to Isabella Harrison. She's
Oh
on the
yeah.
team too, but she got hurt. So
Oh really?
yeah,
Oh
she
man.
you know, I don't know, like what teams you think are going to be a surprise?
A surprise. I actually think the Sky's going to be a surprise because the way they're talking is like, well, the way Wade is talking like, hey, you gotta play on the court. I don't care if you got a big name or something. You know, I don't know if that's a shot at Candace or what, but they don't really have big names. But I feel like, who knows? Maybe they'll have a chip on their shoulder. A lot of people not believing in them because Candace Parker left. We'll see.
I,
And
I think this league should have expanded a long time ago. We shouldn't be sitting here talking about 12 teams, 10, 12 teams. We ought to be talking about at least 16. 16 teams, and it's kind of befuddling. It's baffling, but they always say that the league is losing money and the NBA is basically just funding everything. So I mean, you can't complain if they're funding almost.
Yeah. And some people bring that up like, oh, the WNBA is not a real sport or they shouldn't exist because you're losing money and the NBA is just funding you guys. And I'm like, why are you guys being haters on the league? You guys don't have to be fans, but why are you guys always under the comments saying, oh, they just say so many bad things like there's no crowd and, stay in the kitchen. And I'm like, oh my goodness. You don't gotta support, but at least stop with the trolling.
Yeah, they always talking about lower the rims, and it's always something crazy that somebody's coming up with. If they're happy playing this way for 27 years, I'm happy. If you want to see somebody dunk, just go turn on the NBA game. I mean, it's simple and plain. Slam it down, takes 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and it's over.
It's not that big of a deal. And they talk about the WNBA players play slow. And I'm like, there are fast-paced teams, that run in transition. And they're talking about, oh, we miss layups. I be watching the NBA in college. They miss layups too.
It's WNCA women's players that are, you're hoping to see come out and do good in the WNBA and not get cut. Angel Reese, Caitlin.
Yeah. Man, it's just like
you like Angel Reese, her game?
Oh, I do like Angel Reese's game. I like her swagger. She got a lot of swag. I do like that she did this. That was funny.
Yeah.
It caused a lot of controversy. But if Caitlin Clark is okay with it, then we should be too. But I do like her game. I would like to see her shoot a couple mid-range shots more. I actually thought she was a senior. She said she's a sophomore or something.
She got a little bit of Asia to her game, and I know that sounds blasphemous, but I think she does. She got a little bit of Asia to her game.
And she can rebound.
Yeah.
And I do like Flau'jae Johnson. She can rap and play ball.
Yeah.
So I like the new wave of players that's gonna come out. HBL.
And we should they just Amazon ordered a trophy. That's what I feel like. They just ordered a trophy off Amazon.
I know.
And I can't even think of everybody. Anissa Morrow to go with Angel Reese and Flau'jae, and it's gonna be hard to put them out for the tournament.
That was crazy in the transfer when she transferred there. ABL, I was like, what? That's dope. That's great for women's basketball.
Maybe we could just put them in the WNBA as a franchise.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean,
New Orleans or Louisiana, let's do it.
Yeah, I agree. Are there any teams that we didn't cover?
Let me think.
Like Mystics.
We covered the Lynx. They got Tiffany Mitchell. We covered this guy. They got Elizabeth Williams. Let me see. Fever. We gotta talk about the Fever.
Man, I could tell you right off the bat, Ashley, like out of all the teams that I think of attending their games and might attend their games, I may go and attend some Fever games. I think they're gonna be a fun, entertaining team to watch.
Yeah.
The Leah Boston, they got Lexi Hall. They got a good mix of rookies and vets, I feel.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be good on both ends of the floor. Kelsey Mitchell, she's a good scorer. Let me think.
Now,
they traded for Bree Hartley. That's what they said. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You brought up Kelsey Mitchell. Who does Tiffany Mitchell play for? I think she played for Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Tiffany Mitchell, that's the Lynx, but Kelsey Mitchell, that's a different player
Yeah,
for
that's
the
yeah,
Fever.
yeah. Do you think they can get back into the playoffs or
The Fever?
yeah, or too soon? I think too soon. I think we're going to 40 games this season, up from 36. So I
Yeah,
think
they
the
should keep increasing.
yeah, I think a sweet spot, the perfect spot would probably be around 48, 50. I never want to I never feel like they should be playing 82 games like the NBA.
Oh,
But I think the perfect amount of games would be 50.
yeah, I think that'd be nice, a nice even number. The more games, the merrier, if you ask me.
Oh yeah. But like the Fever, I feel like they are a probably like a 17 and 23 type of team record wise. I give them 17, 16, 17 wins.
I give them one more year. I think after this year, I think they're gonna finally be that playoff team. They got Queen Eve. What's her name?
It,
Queen Eve.
it,
Yeah.
it's evil. I always get her confused with the girl from Notre Dame. I know you say you don't watch a lot of women's college, but there's Lauren Ebo for Notre Dame, and I always get them confused.
They had a rookie, not Smith last year. Uh,
What's her name? I
she
cannot.
used to play for Notre Dame, I think. Um, Nizla.
Look,
You see,
yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I just cannot remember her first name.
mm,
Like
it's like Nalyssa.
I don't want to say Natalia. I don't think that's how you say it.
She was like the first or second pick last year. I want to see how she develops.
Hell, she did really good, I think, last year. As did Ryan Howard did really good as well too. But for the Dream, and speaking of the Dream, we might as well talk about the Dream as well.
Mm-hmm.
Haley
Um.
made the roster, and some people said she shouldn't have.
Oh man.
Yeah, she actually made the cut. I think college basketball has gotten so big that a lot of people are following these players as if they're going to come to the WNBA, and if they don't make it, people are mad.
Yeah, they was mad. They was like, I'm not supporting the W, and I'm like, what?
But
Eventually, your favorite player will make it.
if
It
they're
may
good enough,
not be their time.
yeah, I definitely agree with you there, 110%.
Okay, so they traded for Alicia Gray, who was with the Wings.
Okay, at least you're right.
Um, who else they got? McDonald, that short point guard, McDonald. Who else the Dream got?
Yeah,
Do they still got Shania Parker?
I don't know the answer to that one. I feel like
Oh,
Dreams are.
Haley Jones. Haley Jones.
Oh yeah,
How you feel about her?
she's gonna take a little bit of time. Um, Now that she doesn't have Cam Brink anymore, but she's gonna take some time to develop. I'm surprised they actually kept her. And then Letitia, the South Carolina big, Letitia Meher. Am I saying it right? You
Oh
know,
yeah, number 8. Yeah.
kept her.
Letitia M here.
Yeah,
That's how I would pronounce it.
yeah, she's got really good defensive abilities and good defensive prowess. So I feel like they made the right choice on keeping her. I'm shocked that they kept Haley Jones as much as I'm shocked that the Fever kept Victoria Saxton because a lot of these coaches don't want to develop the players. They really don't want to do the whole prospect route. Like the NBA, they got no problem doing prospects. Hey, go on down the line, take a seat. Eventually we'll call your number. But it's not really like that in the WNBA.
They gotta do something because I know NBA started this thing called G League Ignite. So some of the players aren't going overseas and they're not going to college, but they going to Ignite, and it's supposed to prepare them for the NBA and maybe the WNBA. So like if you get cut, you could go to something like that where you can develop and get paid. But
They say financially that's 110% off the table.
oh man,
I get that. But yeah, I mean, they can come straight out the G League and go right into the NBA, you know?
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did we talk about everything? Let me see. We talked about the wings. Oh, shout out to Arike, because she's from the 414A like me.
All right. Probably
got
that she got one of the best shots ever in college basketball history, you know?
Yeah. She hit like 2 clutch shots.
Oh yeah. Clutches in her jeans, just like Chelsea Gray.
Yeah. They did get Natasha Howard. She's a nice stretch for.
Oh, they also got Lou what's her name? Lou Lopez.
Let me see.
Girl. She's like a do it all kind of player. She came out of UConn.
Is her name? Let me see. Oh, Satu Sabale or something like that.
No, Lou Lopez, center child. Center. Oh. She wears number 8. You should see her on there. She's a rookie.
Oh, rookie. See. Yeah. I don't know too many rookies. I just know they're getting cut.
Yeah, you got that right. I don't know if Dallas is gonna be a playoff bound team, but I do think they'll show some immense improvement in this 23 campaign. I don't know where I will place them record wise, but I like to see them try to get Segrist on the floor as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
Somebody talked about it being a hitch in her shot, that her shot kind of drags, and she's gonna have to like get her shot off quicker. But one thing I noticed is a lot of players don't adjust their shots. Like once you get to the league, a lot of people don't adjust their shots. They just kind of go with it. They go with it. Because you got to think, if you've been shooting one way for so long, you know how hard it is to switch up.
Yeah, that's true. You got to do it right away.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball had like a weird looking shot, and he changed his, and he actually started shooting better numbers.
Yeah, Jason Tatum has a weird looking shot too, but it works.
Yeah.
Got like the whole wind up. So, but I mean, I think it's gonna be a really good season, and I kind of touched on it a little bit on my channel, but I really just talked about the cuts, kind of like we did, because the cuts are the subject of the hour.
Yeah. We gotta talk about the Sparks. We didn't talk about them. I like the Wnba sisters. They did get Stevenson from the Sky, and also Hamby. How do you think they're gonna go?
What's the sister that's always doing the Yeah.
Yeah.
She got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Yeah, she not really, I don't feel like she's super dedicated to playing basketball.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's why they said that, not to cut you off, they said that's why the Liberty cut Dee Richards, because she wanted to be a model.
What?
She's more focused on her modeling, so they kind of just gave her a walking papers, and now she can focus on modeling.
Dang.
But going back to the Sparks, they got rid of Trinity Carter. Say her name right? Yeah, they did get rid of her. What do you think about that?
I don't know what's wrong with all these first round picks getting cut. I don't know. She was picked in 2020. Like, what's going on?
It don't happen in it. NFL, NHL, No, well, NBA, it don't happen.
Why aren't you working with the players?
And then
I mean,
also consider this too, Ashley. Like, so, you know, in the NBA, the prospects come out at 18, 19. In the WNBA, they already in their 20s. They 22, 23.
yeah,
They got about maybe 8 years, 7 years. If they want to have kids like De'Erica,
that's
maybe
a couple more years off.
maybe they only got 6 years to become the best they can be.
Right.
So they need the opportunity as soon as they can get it. And speaking of De'Erica, I was sad to see her go from the Aces, of course, and her going to the Sparks. I think it can really rejuvenate her, give her more opportunity to do some things offensively. I don't know when she's coming back. I'm not sure who they have as a starting point guard. I do know that Zaya Cook, she's going to be doing some things over there, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised they kept her. Kurt Miller, is that?
I do they have Jordan Canada? I think that's the point guard. She used to be like the backup for Sue Bird on the Storm. I think they have her. Let me see.
I wouldn't bet the house on it, but I would bet a sandwich that they probably have. I bet a sandwich they probably have her.
A turkey sandwich?
Yeah. I do think she's on that team. Obviously, can't look in front of me and see, but I think so.
That happened last year. Let me see. Yeah, Jordan Canada is on here. Yeah. But I think
the Sparks, I'm not sure. I have no idea what they're gonna look like. And that's just the honest to God truth. I don't know. I don't know if Hamby's gonna make it back in time for the season. I really just don't know I'm just gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to try to watch them, get a feel for them. I'll probably have a better assessment a few weeks into the season.
Yeah, that's when you kind of start getting a feel for the teams, their first couple games. You see how the chemistry is and the connections.
I know somebody got waived on Minnesota when I was doing my video earlier, but I don't know who it is. Do you see any updated cuts? Because I thought most of the teams are almost done trimming rosters.
Yeah, I know the Wings are official. Anybody got cut? Let me see.
The Dream, Atlanta Dream, their roster is pretty set. The Fever's roster is set.
They waived, it says rookie Taylor Soley and veteran Dentist, it say.
Oh wow. They didn't waive Taylor Soley. Wow. And here I thought that she was gonna, lock down a position. Wow.
I guess it just happened like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Like I told you, the perfect word is gauntlet. It's a gauntlet. I don't know if you ever seen the movie 300, but it's like 300, Ashley. It really is. It's a battle, a war, a complete war out there. And I think anybody not named Maddie, Diamond, or Leah might not be safe,
Yeah, and like you may be safe for the first 2 years and then get cut the third year. I mean, look at what happened to Henny. I thought she made it on Fever, and she probably thought so too. But now you bring in more players, then you got to ship some out.
Individuals have said she was too small to make it, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that because look at what's her name, Crystal Dangerfield. I mean, you can be successful in this game and be a small player.
Yeah.
You got to fight a lot harder. I can tell you that for sure.
I know that was the word on her during the draft process last year, but she still made it. So I don't know what she did this year. And sometimes it may not be about you. It could be about, the fit of the team.
I agree with that. Who do you think is gonna get picked up first out of all the cuts?
I would say maybe Bria Bill.
Yeah,
That's what I would say.
but I think I like we said earlier in the podcast. Speaking of your namesake, Ashley Jones out of Iowa State, hit the gym, be the first one there, be the last one to leave, and just throw down the whole time. Just you know, play hard. And sometimes I notice players take plays off. That's a no-no. Like love Bria, but she didn't give it everything she had. But then Taylor Soule gets cut, and I feel like she gave it everything she had. Minnesota might be too guard heavy. I think maybe so. Depends on where you're getting drafted, and I think they might have had too many guards to begin with.
Yeah, and it's like, why are you drafting the players then cutting them? You should already sort of have an idea of like who you need, what position you need, you know?
Well, did I tell you, Ashley? Like my whole thing, if I was a GM, yeah, I'm taking a pick. If it doesn't fall in the top 10, I'm taking it and trading it. And there's been some GMs that have done that. Take the picks, move them. Let somebody else deal with the headache. Just because if it's a top 10 pick, it might be possibly a franchise changing talent. So I would keep it. But outside of the 10, I think they should cut the third round as well. What's the third round?
Yeah, the third round. No.
I don't think it serves a purpose.
If I was any team that wasn't a contender, if you're not Liberty or you're not the Aces, maybe the Mystics, I think are going to be up there. Just get as many 2024 draft picks as you can. That's what I would do.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's going to be the year right there.
Yeah.
I think we did cover almost everybody.
Let me see. Did we talk about the Mystics? Brittany Skies, Elena Deladon, Natasha Cloud, Ariel Atkinson. Is she still on there? But I think the Mystics are gonna be like, if Elena Deladon is healthy, like the third best team. I think.
I could see that.
They kind of have that experience. What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say I hope Seattle. I don't know if you're familiar with Arella Garantes. I don't know if you're familiar with that name. I'm kind of hoping they hold on to her. I think they will.
Is she a rookie?
I think she was signed as like a free agent, but she is a young player. But I think what I was gonna say, and I don't know if anyone knows this answer. Aren't when these rookies drafted, they get like contracts, like in the NBA, you get like a 3-year contract if you drafted in the first round. So are these rookies not drafted with like a pay scale? Are they just like, like equal?
Yeah, that's what I wonder too. Because in the NBA, when they're drafted, they're not signed right away, and they play in the summer league. And usually, they don't play in the summer league unless they sign the contract first.
Right.
And so
it's weird.
I'm thinking like, are you drafting these players and then they're headed to training camp without a contract? Because some people are like, I'm not playing if I ain't signed in some sports.
I wouldn't. Definitely not dangerous sports like NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going out there. I'm not doing it. So I definitely agree with you there. But I think we have covered, bulk of things.
Let me think. Oh, I do like Dawson from the Liberty. I like her personality. She's like a big. She can screen, rebound. She can shoot a little bit. She was on the Sky, then she went to the Liberty.
I'm gonna have to learn the Liberty a little bit because outside of the big three, and you know what, Ashley, all you need is the big three. They could put you, me, and a couple other people out there with Jonquil and Brianna. You still go to the finals.
Just run the floor, play a little defense, make your shots when you're open.
You think Sabrina gonna be better or worse?
I think she's gonna be better. I like Sabrina. I
Just
think they just gotta figure out that because sometimes like when there's new players, like players don't want to step on each other's toes or be themselves,
when
and you
it's
gotta be yourself, you know.
like it's like Dwayne Wade and LeBron. When do I shoot? When do I pass?
Right.
Like first year they had together, which was pretty much a disaster. But I ain't gonna call it a disaster because they did reach the finals. But yeah, 8 points, LeBron. But that's a subject for another day.
Yeah, I think Wade was like, "This is your team now," and LeBron was like, "Okay."
But
So
he's done so much good since then that I don't even trip over that 8 point performance that LeBron did. Anybody else, just you'd have to get him.
I think every star be getting criticized when they don't win or have a bad performance.
Yeah, Lakers or Nuggets.
I I want the Nuggets to win because I feel like the Lakers, I just feel like y'all got a ring already in 2020. Y'all got so many banners. Let some other small market team win. I'm more in favor of the small markets. But it wouldn't shock me at all if the Lakers found a way. But I just think Jokic and those shooters.
I was speaking more along the lines of tonight's game too.
Oh, I think the Lakers might win this game tonight.
They better.
Yeah.
They better win this game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna steal one on the road.
You know what? They don't have to. I think the Celtics have to win the next game they play. They gotta beat the Heat.
Yeah.
Lakers could lose and be okay.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
I'm like a big Bucks fan and the Heat embarrassed us. But I'm actually rooting for the Heat because it's like if they continue to win, the Bucks can say, "Hey, at least we, got beat by, a winner." It won't be a total joke.
I get that. Being a Timberwolves fan, I feel the same way. The Nuggets, they knocked us out in the first round. They beating everybody else, so it makes you feel a little bit better. Like, hey, we played a heck of a team. So,
Yeah.
are you happy or sad about Coach Bud getting fired since you're a Bucks fan?
I'm happy because I feel like throughout his whole coaching career, I feel like he didn't make the right adjustments, like in-game adjustments or game-to-game, series to series. I just feel like sometimes he got out-coached. But I also feel like he did, coach us to a championship. So it's like I'm forever thankful for that. But it's sort of like time to move on because I just don't feel like he's innovative enough. So whoever they pick for the next coach got to be able to adjust, and hopefully we can play in a different system that propels us even further. I don't know. Coaches don't really have a long lifeline.
You got that right. Nobody except for Eric Spoelstra.
Right.
There's two quick things. I'm probably gonna spit out at you. One is, really you can answer these any order you want. So first, okay, Milwaukee getting a WNBA franchise. Do you think you guys will do well with that? And then, really quick, Wnba, what do you think of him? The big guy out of France that the Spurs drafted #1.
Oh man, I feel like Victor, he's gonna be special. He just gotta stay healthy, get stronger because he got like a thin frame. But like he's like 7'4", long wingspan. He can shoot like Durant. I mean, it's crazy. He's like a 2K player.
I don't even know how he's gonna get in the stadium. Like, I don't even know how he gets in a car.
Bodyguards.
I mean,
He needs a big truck.
just cut the top off.
The rooftop. But yeah, and I feel like the Spurs got him because I think Adam Silver is like, which team's not gonna ruin him?
I do think it's. I'm not gonna say rigged, but I think sometimes they kind of like get a little persuasive with the lotto balls.
Yeah, because like y'all, the Spurs got David Robinson, then they got Tim Duncan, now they got Victor. But I think he is gonna do well with Pop.
I was hoping he would not go to Charlotte or Portland because players don't really thrive there. So I was like, hopefully it's the Rockets or the Spurs.
Yeah, I thought like the Rockets or Detroit because they have like a lot of young pieces, and I think he would fit well anywhere basically. But like Houston, they got Green and they got Jabari Smith, so I thought that's a good core. The Spurs don't really got like a super young. They have a young team, but I wouldn't say it's like stars that I feel like it's going to be all stars and stuff like
They got
that.
a bunch of young pieces, basically.
They got Keldon Johnson, who's pretty good, but that's about it.
Actually, I keep telling people to watch for Keldon Johnson, and people are looking at me like I'm just talking to a wall. I'm like, this dude is good. Like, guy was like doing his thing last year. I don't know, but all eyes will be on them now.
Yeah, I started watching Keldon Johnson when he was with Kentucky, I think, and he's gotten a lot better. Like his shot's gotten better since being, there. So I think, yeah, the Spurs gonna be a good fit, and anybody's gonna be excited to play with Victor. I'm just glad he was not in the East.
I don't know what to say about that. You guys would like to trade Giannis for Rudy Gobert. Crazy.
I joked saying I would trade every player and every pick the Bucks have for Victor to play with Giannis. I was joking about that.
That would be. I feel like the Bucks ought to go after Bradley Beal or Dame Lillard, but that's just me.
A lot of Bucks fans want Dame because Dame actually, like when he's asked about players he would like to play with, Giannis's name always comes up. And I think they was trying to play together, but neither player wanted to leave. Giannis wanted to stay in Milwaukee. Dame wants to stay in Portland. So I think they've actually been in communication, but neither wants to leave.
Yeah. And then
Dame gotta leave.
And then my last other question was, can Milwaukee handle a WNBA franchise? Do you think you guys could?
You know what? I think it's all about the owners. It's like you see how the Aces got Tom Brady as an owner. They got like a rich owner that wants to have like private jets and they got their own facility. I feel like if you're a WNBA owner and you really want your franchise to thrive, and that's actually expansion too. It's like how many owners wants to own the franchise in Milwaukee or Toronto? You got to find those groups.
Yeah.
I think if we get a Giannis type of player on the WNBA Milwaukee team, fans will come. And then when you become a contender, fans will come.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the top runners are Toronto, Philadelphia, and I just had it, but yeah.
Sacramento. Sacramento. They used to have Monarchs.
Houston.
Oh yeah, Houston Comets.
I think the Houston Comets and the Seattle Supersonics franchises was done so wrong, and both of them franchises need their teams.
Yeah.
Or should I say, both of those cities need their teams.
Supersonics. They had cold jerseys. They had Peyton and Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bogus how they lost their team.
The Comets had Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper.
Yeah, and their jerseys. Where are their jerseys in the rafters? They don't have any because they don't have a team.
That's what somebody said. They won't support the Dallas Wings because the Dallas Wings don't honor the Detroit Shock championships.
Really?
Wings used to be the Shock. And I said, it makes sense. Me personally, I'm not going to do that to the players that play there. I'm not going to be mad, but it does make sense.
Yeah, I could understand either way if you want it. I feel like in some way you should honor the Detroit Shocks in some form or fashion, if it's like jerseys in the rafters or at least somewhere in the stadium to be recognized. Because the Shocks, they was doing their thing. Bill Lambier, Swing Cash, Katie Smith. You gotta honor the legends, and I don't feel like all the legends are honored properly by the WNBA.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
The great thing about this season is BG is free. She's back.
And Ashley, we did not talk about those Phoenix Mercury.
Yeah.
Shame on us.
DT, she's probably gonna retire there. They got Skylar Diggins. Yeah.
That's why I asked you was she playing?
Yeah, I think she's pregnant, so
okay.
We'll see about that. They re-signed someone. Sophie Cunningham. They re-signed her.
That's a good re-sign.
Yeah. It says
they could be a potential roadblock for a couple of teams, especially if BG is focused. They could get in somebody's path, even my aces.
Yeah. I wonder if, depending on how the season goes, because, depending on how everybody's season goes, it's like we're going to tank if we don't get out the gates right away.
That's why I feel like some of these teams should have kept some of these rookies. Everybody's not going to the playoffs. Everybody is not going 30-10. I don't care what they say. All these teams are not going 30-10. They just need to get that out their heads right now.
Yeah. Did they waive Destiny Harden? It says she was the 27th pick.
Oh yeah, who waived?
Out of Miami, shooting guard.
What team was she on? When they got
Miami Hurricanes.
But which franchise waived her? I know she got waived, but I don't remember who waived her. Was it Seattle?
Was it Mercury? I think Mercury drafted her.
Mercury. I was so mad. That's another one. I was like, man, how you gonna waive Destiny Harden when she just got that dog mentality like Chelsea Gray? Like, what are you doing? Like, there has to be someone else that you can cut. There has to be somebody that's like 35 with all gray hair that just, shouldn't be on a roster. You have to be able to look down your roster and say, I have to be able to find room for you.
Yeah.
Unless I feel the same way about Maddie Williams out of Oklahoma. She was a banger on the block, getting rebounds. I watched the Oklahoma team play against UCLA. UCLA, which is another one of my college teams. She did great, but she's getting cut. And there's no explanation for none of these cuts. We really don't know why, outside of maybe they underperform.
It's like they could make, out of all the cuts and stuff, they can make their own team full of cuts.
Yeah, they definitely could. The only thing I will say is Abby Myers, the lady out of Maryland, the girl out of Maryland that got drafted by the Wings, she didn't attend the draft. And I don't know if you saw the draft, but I thought that was a little bit strange.
Was she like a top pick?
Yeah, she was a top 10, 11 pick.
Did they talk to her somewhere?
No, they ain't talk to her at all. So I just found that to be a little bit of an ominous sign. And sure enough, she got cut. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's weird if you don't show up to draft night, even though me personally, if knowing about all these cuts, I would just show up with some jogging pants and I would show up with some jogging pants and Timberland boots like, y'all not going to have me here no way. Come here, Commissioner. I'll shake your hand real quick and take a picture and, in my jogging suit and I'll get out of here.
Man.
How can you take it seriously if you know you probably won't be there?
Yeah, exactly. Man, or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the college season and the WNBA is so close. It's like, how can you get ready? Or should the colleges prepare you more? Or I don't know.
My favorite thing, I don't know if you're going to ask me this or not, but my favorite thing about the WNBA game is just the competition, the competitiveness is, I think it's unparalleled. It's almost unmatched. As you can see with the cuts, it's really a tight knit league, and everybody's going for it.
Hmm.
So the NBA sometimes they so spoil the players. They
Hmm.
expect so much should be handed to them. You
Yeah.
got like Ben Simmons and Kawhi Leonard who stealing money. They just stealing out the back of the Brinks truck. You know,
Yeah,
nothing.
they get big contracts, then they don't play the same, or they're injured, and I don't know. Oh, there was some NBA players like DeMar DeRozan and Pat Bev that was saying that there's a lot of guys in the NBA that don't love the game. They just love what comes with it.
Possibly John Morant.
Probably, I don't know what he's doing.